Hey traders, welcome back. We are in day 3 of our 5-day challenge, Traders Reboot. If you are unhappy with your trading, if things aren't going the way you want, if you feel like you've got all the pieces of the puzzle, but they're not quite fitting, then I challenge you to take this 5-day challenge. It's 5 videos, they're all on YouTube, everything's here for you. 1 video a day to go through, to wipe the slate clean, to take the good things from your trading, to try to eliminate the bad, to construct a new plan. We're on day 3, construct the plan, and then move forward and forward and forward from there. So if things aren't working out for you, if you're spinning your wheels, if you aren't quite getting the traction you want in your trading, go back to day 1 and run through the process. It's well worth 5 days of your time, and I know that will improve your trading. It will give you clarity, it will give you focus, it will just help build that confidence, and maybe a light bulb will come on during the process, and that one light bulb is the thing that changed everything. So let's go. Day 3, construct. So what we're doing now is we had the review stage where we reviewed and we got all the data from the trading, we reflected on it, and we came up with some kind of thoughts and ideas. And that was key. Many people go from review to construct straight away. They go, I'm not doing so well on the day. Well, I'll add that to my trading plan. I'll add that to my trading plan. I'll add that to my trading plan. And I think that's a mistake. I think there needs to be a section in the middle, a day, to review and then reflect. So you have that review stage, and then you have that reflection stage, and then you go on to constructing. Now we're formalizing what we're going to do moving forward. So after day 4 and day 5, which is coming up obviously next couple of videos, then we go, right, this is the plan that we're going to put into action. This is the business model that we're going to implement in our trading business. We're taking this seriously. Maybe talked about in the video 1, your professionalism might not be up to standard. Maybe that's one thing that's going to help by putting a formalized plan in place for your trading. All right, so the first thing is plan. So I think that, this is my opinion, some people kind of approach this differently, but for me, there's a plan, and there's rules, and there's goals, and these are very, very different. Some people bundle them all into one. I think that's a mistake myself, but everyone's different. So a plan to me is how I'm going to approach the market, the setups, the strategies, the methodology. So you might say, for example, hey, I am a day trader of the DAX, and I like to trade mean reversion at extreme levels. So that's your overall business model, okay? And then you might say, right, and these are the specific setups and strategies that I like to employ. I like to employ stretched ATR, hitting an overnight high, whatever it may be. We don't go into intricacies in this video because everyone's different, and I don't want to kind of guide down one thing. But the point is, you've reviewed, reflected, you've got some indication of what you're good at now, or what's working better than others. You might say, you know what, I'm just not that good at jumping on trends. I don't like buying stuff that's high already. So that automatically says, okay, well, maybe you should be trading mean reversion. That's fine. We'll focus on just mean reversion, but not in any market, right? You need to have some sort of filter that allows you to trade. And this is where it comes in with the business plan. It's like, okay, if we have an ATR that's lower than the average over the past 20 days, if we are in a weekly range, we've got no indication that there's a breakout coming, then I'm going to trade my mean reversion strategy, which is X, which is looking for this, this, and this is my trigger. Now, I talked about this before, and again, I don't want to go down these rabbit holes massively because this is a whole topic, but don't refine it so much that you're so stuck to all these rules and regulations that you say, I've got to wait for this, 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 and this, and then pull the trigger. Have a little bit of flexibility in there, but be structured. And the idea is to get that structure from what you're good at. The whole point of review and reflect, day 1 and 2, was that you could go, right, and I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm good at. I know what works for me. So how can I do more of that? I know what I'm weak at. If you're weak at buying trends, if you're weak at big trend days, find a way of identifying them as early as possible and getting yourself out of the market. That's got to go in the plan. If you find yourself getting seduced by the volatility of another instrument, the plan says, I only trade this, this, and this. If you want to extend your holding time, then the plan's got to say, hey, I don't just buy the first opening bar, I wait for a strategic position to get long. I don't just kind of buy and hope. This all comes into the plan. It all comes from the data you've got. Where you say, right, what is the plan? And that is like an operational manual to trade with. And I like to simplify it. One sheet of A4 is perfect. Any more than that, you get bogged down. But if you want to go more than that, that's fine. If you want to have it as something that's kind of tucked away and is like a manual of operation, if you like, then fine. I still think you should have a summary, simple trading plan, just like I kind of said before. Hey, I like to trade breakouts on the precious metals, and I like to trade them in this circumstance, that circumstance, because that's what I'm good at. Well, that's a good starting point. And we're not saying this is going to be you forever, by the way. So you think, oh gosh, I'm only good at this specific thing. No. The idea here is to wipe the slate clean and to get some traction in your trading, to stop the damage, stop the losing, and just to start to show some consistency. And if that means just trading very much fewer iterations or very specific about what you're trading, then so be it. You can add more stuff in later, But the whole objective of this is reboot, reset, start from scratch, taking the good things only over and none of the bad things. Wiping the slate clean. So now we come up with rules. So this is more like rules that you want to do. So hey, before I start the trading day, I want to look at my pre-market checklist, or I want to do the routine, the exercise routine that I've got from some exercise book or manual that keeps me alert and refreshed. These are rules that pre-market prep. When do you take a break? How do you journal? So the plan, and again, personal preference, but the plan is like an operational manual of execution, and the rules are kind of things that you'll do to improve your efficiency in the market. If you're feeling tired, you've got less than 6 hours sleep, you won't trade. You're feeling angry, you won't trade. You've had 2 losing trades in a row, you'll trade half size the next. Little things like that. Again, not a massive list of stuff. We're going back. Remember, we went back when we focused on the big things. What's the big thing you want to knock over, you want to improve? If that's over trading, then this rule is going to contain, hey, you've got 3 bullets for the day. That's it. Or if you're trading too much risk in the day, hey, your risk is X. So these are the rules. The plan is the parameters of what you're trying to trade, and the operational side of stuff, the tactical. The rules are more, hey, these are the boundaries to work within. The number of trades you've got, this is the risk you've got, this is when you trade, this is when you don't trade. And don't go crazy with these rules because you won't stick to them. Pick the ones that are most meaningful and have the biggest impact on your trading. Let me look at the goals. So I like to write down some big lofty goals. I think that's a good way of doing things. Think, hey, here's my big lofty goal. But the trouble with the big lofty goal is we look at that and you're trading, if you're struggling, going, there's no way, there's just no way. So breaking it down into like medium term and short term. And the short term goal might be, hey, I want to lose much less money next couple of weeks than I have done on average. And you might be like, that's ridiculous. But if you're losing money, that's the first step. It's not to just suddenly go, I want to suddenly make money. It's like to stop losing so much. And then the next goal might be, I want to break even. And then the next goal might be, I want to make $1. And then you start to just turn the ship around, a big wheel turning the ship around, not trying to make massive adjustments like, okay, come on, slowly come round. So the short-term goal might be, hey, I'm going to stick to my rules for the next 30 days. Whatever that may be, I'm very poor at journaling. I'm very poor at being professional and approaching this in a professional manner. I'm not very business-like at it, so I'm going to have a pre-market prep. I'm going to make sure that I do my routine. I'm going to make sure I do all this stuff, and that could be a goal. And you kind of put that in there and you say, right, these are the goals I want to hit. And this ties in with habits. So I jumped the gun a little bit there. Number 4 is the habits. So we can't always control the goals, right? If you say, hey, I want to make 50 grand this month, or 5 grand, or 500 bucks this month, we can't control that. We have no control over that. If we do the right thing, then hopefully that's going to happen, but we don't ultimately have control of that. What we do have control over is the habits. And as human beings, we like control. So we don't like it when, I didn't hit my goal because this, and this, and it's frustrating. So if you reframe what you're trying to do into your habits, so I talked about, hey, if I just do my pre-market routine, I make sure I stick to my risk rules, I make sure I take a break in the middle of the day, I make sure I don't trade on Friday afternoons, I make sure I trade the markets I'm allowed to trade, I make sure I only trade mean reversion, whatever that is. Those are the habits. I make sure I have a good, nutritious breakfast. I make sure I get a little sleep. I make sure, if you can do that, then there's other things you can control because you can ensure that you do those most of the time. They're not going to, of course, things are going to come in and life's going to happen and it's not going to be perfect. But the more you dial those in, the more those goals seem within reach. And so I urge you to kind of come up with some habits and say, right, I'm constructing my plan. That's the most important thing, the trading plan. And then the rules that accompany that plan that sit there and keep me within the boundaries, because we can trade whatever we want, whatever size we want, whatever time we want, That's no good for us. We need some rules that guide us down the path that we know we're more efficient in and away from the danger zone. You know, a lot of people get seduced by the open, but the open is the worst time for many traders. It's the worst time because it's impulsive, it's up, it's down, it's left, it's right. Sometimes it's got no direction to it, massively volatile changes, stopping, starting, and people get sucked into that and lose money. And if you see that, you go, whoa, the rules are I don't trade for the first 30 minutes. Simple rule to stop you getting caught out. I don't trade for the last 30 minutes. I trade in this specific window. The rules are there to guide you. You know, and then the goals are like, so you know where you're heading, you know what you're doing this for, you know what you're putting up with all this effort for, is because that's where I want to be in my trading. I want to do this. I want this amount of money. I want to do something I love and make some money from it. I want whatever it may be. But then, like I say, if we have that and we're so far away from it, it can feel like it's pointless. So it's where the habits come in. You can control those. You can say, right, I want one day of putting these good habits in. Done. 1 week, 1 month. You get the idea. So this is the construct phase, guys. This is day 3. Plan your rules, your goals, your habits. Once you've done that, you're ready to move to day number 4 in the next video.